Hey, I'm back, and I want to talk about something about Gamergate that I think a lot of Gamergate supporters have overlooked, and it has to do with the death threats that Anita Sarkeesian was sent. I think far too much time has been wasted trying to determine whether this death threat was real or not than paying attention to how the opposition will change the narrative to fit their point. Now, what do I mean by all this mumbo jumbo? Let me explain. What you're looking at now, which is something I'm pretty sure everyone has already seen before, this is the tweet by Kevin Dobson. This person, Anita Sarkeesian has been sent many threats, but this was the one she took so seriously that she left her house and contacted the police, who later contacted the FBI. Now, it has been speculated for a while whether or not that this is even a real person. As you see this picture, it says, who screen capped this? No search was done. She wasn't logged in. The account was made solely to make these tweets. The screen cap was taken in 12 seconds. Yada, yada, yada. Then you go through the whole thing, and yes, there's a lot of a lot of things that don't add up. We don't think it's real. Scrutiny is not a sin. We should all ask questions when confronted with suspicious evidence. Yes, this is suspicious evidence. But what we're not paying attention to is how the opposition is using these tweets. And it's not just so she can say, I'm a victim, wah, wah, wah. It's to discredit Gamergate. Let's take a look at an article by Nate Rott from NPR. NPR is also a website that is associated with the Game Journal Pro's mailing list, just for your information. And in this this article, it says, Gamergate controversy fuels debate on women and video games. And as we read on, it says, for the past several weeks, the video game industry has been embroiled in a heated, sometimes ugly debate under the hashtag Gamergate. It's a debate about a lot of things and involves a lot of people. Notice how they're being very vague. But at its heart, Gamergate is about two things: ethic in video games, journalism, and the role of treatment of women in the video game industry, an industry that has been long dominated by men. Many in the industry believe these two things need to be talked about as the video game industry moves toward the mainstream more than ever before. But it's the way that they're being talked about that has drawn international attention. Online trolls, and this is the important part, online trolls have attacked women in the video game industry, but during hashtag Gamergate, it's gotten so bad that two women left their homes because they feared for their own safety, and the FBI said that it will look into the harassment of game developers. The first of these two women is Zoe Quinn. Quinn is an independent game developer and a community organizer who's been actively involved in the video game industry for most of her life, both as a consumer of video games and as a developer. And there's some quotes from her, blah, blah, blah. While Quinn dated, this is, okay, I'm going to stop before I read any more, because I'm just talking about Anita right now. We'll get to Quinn a little later, maybe a part 2 of this video. I'm trying to cut the time down. Now, if you listened, they are associating the Kevin Dobson character with Gamergate, and that these are related. Now, let's actually take a look at these tweets and what they say. Okay? Let's find a more clearer picture that doesn't have all of that stuff on it. Here, this is the same screen cap, but without all of the annotations and stuff and comments. From Kevin Dobson. I'm going to kill your parents too. I've seen their house, but instead I will drink your blood out of your cunt after I rip it open. Also, these are very graphic. Obviously the death threats. If only we could be together. I give anything to drink in your laugh. To drink in your laugh and your smiles. Oh, Anita, you're so beautiful and sexy. You know that? I'm going to kill you, Johnny, too. He's a fruitcake. I guess Johnny's some gay guy that she knows, or maybe he's not gay at all. I'm going to go to your apartment at blank and rape you to death. After I'm done, I'll ram a tire iron up your cunt. All I want is for you to be mine, my love. I want to caress you and taste you. I want to fuck your hot pussy. I want to bite the side of your neck and drink your blood. I'm going to rape your cunt with a pole. Hey, Anita, I want to taste your sweet pussy. Now, after reading all of that, this has nothing to do with what she has done as a quote-unquote video game analyst or critique or whatever the fuck she calls herself. It doesn't have anything to do with her feminist frequency videos. This person is not attacking her for speaking out against video games or claiming that all the sexism in video games. This has nothing to do with video games. This is your classic fucking Buffalo Bill type crazy, and all he's talking about is, I'm going to find you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to rape you and drink your blood and stab you with tire irons and this has nothing to do with her occupation and the other things she's been talking about. It has nothing to do with her her speaking out against the supposed rampant sexism in video games. But if you go to... So my phone's going off. If you go to these articles, they directly relate Gamergate to this Kevin Dobson character. Now, once again, let's just say that this Kevin Dobson is real. I mean, if you go here, Polygon is saying that in many other websites, this is just, I'm just picking on Polygon, I suppose. Maybe I should find some other websites. But the point is, now they are saying that the FBI is getting involved with these threats. And at the bottom of this article, Anita is quoted saying, there are ongoing investigations in multiple, what was it? In multiple municipalities regarding death threats targeting me and my family, she said. Despite the seriousness of the situation, a group of obsessive cyberstalkers have started a witch hunt against me, attempting to prove some sort of paranoid conspiracy theory about fabricated threats. This is unfortunately another example of how the aggressive denial of women's lived experiences online is not only sexist, but can actually be dangerous, yada, 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 yada. The FBI is going to investigate these claims. Now, the only relation that Gamergate has to the Kevin Dobson threats is that there were people who didn't think it was real for, all of those things stated. But the death threat themselves, not the fact that people are denying it, more so just the fact that she was sent death threats. Because you can go to any website that talks about Anita Sarkeesian, and you will find an article that is talking about, oh, she's an activist, she's talking about sexism in video games, and she's been so harassed by the video game community to the point that she's been sent death threats. Basically saying that the death threat that was so bad she had to leave her home was from a gamer. Nowhere in these tweets, nothing is related to gaming. This is a man who wants to kill her and everyone she knows. And he has some obsession with drinking blood, apparently. And, he's a homophobe. So all of the trappings of your classic crazy person are here. Now, whether this is real or not is irrelevant at this point. The FBI, if they're actually looking into it, they'll find that out rather quickly, I would imagine. But my point is, we're not paying attention to to how they're spinning this. How they are trying to take this person and associate it with Gamergate. Now, I'm not saying, yes, they are, we are well aware of the fact that they're actively saying, oh, look at all of this harassment. All gamers are like this. All gamers are like this. But this is an instance where they're taking someone who they have no evidence of actually being a gamer and associating them with Gamergate. Specifically, Gamergate. And this is an article, that is, once again, in cahoots. This is a website, I should say, that is in cahoots with Polygon, Kotaku, Rock Paper Shotgun, Gama Sutra, and all of the other people who are holding hands in the Game Journal Pros mailing list. So we see a theme going on. And I think that people should be a bit more focused on that as opposed to trying to prove if this is real or not, because that will solve itself. If she doesn't contact the police, well, then we know it's fake. If the police are contacted, they will find out if it's fake or not. It could be real, it could be fake, but the FBI, I would imagine the FBI would not have a hard time finding out who this Kevin Dobson character is. And I would imagine that Kevin Dobson is a pseudonym and not actually a real name. So that's all I have about these articles. Even looking here, for example, there's a clip of her, Feminist Frequency. She's talking about the representation of women in pop culture. She's a video game critic who looks at the way video games portray women in an online blog called Feminist Frequency. She takes clips from games and yada yada. Yeah, she does take clips from games, all right. She doesn't actually play them. I didn't actually notice that the first time I read this article. That's actually very funny. She takes clips. But yes. Summing up, she's been getting angry backlash for her critiques since she's been doing this. But during hashtag Gamergate, that backlash got so bad that she tweeted she had to leave her home. Once again, linking Gamergate to a character that we don't even know really exists, and let's just say for all intents and purposes he does exist. There's nothing in these tweets that links him to Gamergate, or even being a fan of video games in general, or even knowing about her career. This could just be a guy who's just fucking stalking her. He's like, I'm gonna kill you and drink your blood. I'm a goddamn vampire and shit. But let's wrap this up. Then it goes to a different woman who has been harassed at work. And she very well could have been harassed. Hold on. An independent, she's a game designer from Germany who wrote she's being harassed. We believe that everyone, no matter what gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, religion, disability, yada yada yada, has right to play games. We criticize games and make games without getting harassed or threatened. This is a woman who, I don't know much about her, but let's, once again, for all intents and purposes, says that she has been genuinely harassed by misogynist men in Germany just for being a woman who wants to design games without having to be attacked for it. This, in conjunction with the overall majority of this article that is talking about Anita, Sarkeesian, and a bit on Zoe Quinn, they're all linking this stuff. They're linking everything. She's not to Gamergate. They're actively trying to, make it seem that all of these people who are attacking them is in relation to Gamergate in some way, shape, fashion, or form. And that is why they want you to change the name of hashtag Gamergate to hashtag something else. And they say, well, the Gamergate slogan, it's just caked in misogyny, and no one's going to take you seriously if you don't change the name. Obviously, no one's changing the name, but I just wanted to point this out. I thought it was interesting. That's all.